Hey guys, Dave, Anna here. Today we are going to review the Ratchet and Clank movie. I'm very excited about this.
As am I.
Mostly because we both love the video game franchise, and thank God they finally made a movie because I've been waiting for years for this.
Absolutely.
So I guess maybe this will be a slightly biased review, but we're going to do our best to stay true to our critical, I don't know, what?
Honor?
Honor, exactly. The Ratchet and Clank movie actually, excitingly enough, follows the original Ratchet and Clank game pretty closely.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a first for video game movies as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, one of the good things is that they went animated with this. It would have been so creepy if they went like weird, like lifelike CGI, or even worse, people in costumes. That would have been terrifying.
Yeah,
so this is a fully animated movie, and like you said, it follows the first game very closely. It is the origin story of Ratchet and Clank meeting and getting together and helping to save the universe.
Actually, Sony worked a lot with Insomniac Games that made the Ratchet and Clank franchise, and on top of that, TJ Fixman, who wrote like all the Ratchet and Clank future games, wrote this movie.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big deal and a really exciting deal. Also, Kevin Munroe, the director, he directed TMNT, which is dope. That animated Ninja Turtle movie was awesome. First off, what's really exciting is that the actual voices of Ratchet and Clank and Captain Quark are all the original video game voices, which is really, really exciting. But on top of that, I think TJ Fixman being the writer is really what makes this movie golden if you're a fan. Because really, like, it feels like Ratchet and Clank. It feels like all those great cutscenes, all the stories of Ratchet and Clank, they're really amazing.
Yeah.
Outside of that, if you don't like the Ratchet and Clank universe or have no idea what it is, I think it's still a super enjoyable animated film.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about it is just how funny it is.
Yes.
Like, that's one of the great things about the games as well. And they really were able to translate that humor out of just being in cutscenes into a full movie and really tell the story in an entertaining and hilarious way.
I did have a few issues with the movie.
Okay.
And they're not major, but one of my main issues was I felt like they were like afraid to have too much gun violence via Ratchet, like using guns.
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying, because like in the games, obviously you get to use all the different weapons and stuff. In the movie, he doesn't really use any of the cool gun weapons other characters do.
Yeah, I mean, he uses them, but it doesn't
bit.
sound like when you're in the game, you feel like a god of war.
Yeah.
Like in the video game, you have like a rocket launcher that annihilates the entire level.
Yeah.
In this, he was holding guns a lot, but then a lot of times would like whack someone with his Omni wrench or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like He-Man.
Kind of like He-Man, exactly, the sword. Now, not a big deal overall, especially, for the younger audience, but for me, who's in love with the franchise and all the action in it, I was a little bummed out. Also, I just have to say, I freaking love Dr. Nefarious.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of the great villains of the franchise. He's in here along with Drek, which I think is super awesome. Paul Giamatti does a great job as Drek.
Yeah, speaking of Paul Giamatti, I mean, there are actual celebrity voices in it. Sly Stallone, Rosario Dawson, Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
And they really add a lot to your main cast of Ratchet and Clank. It was great to have them alongside James Arnold Taylor and David Kaye.
Jim Ward, the voice of Quark.
And just having those voices in it was so good.
Honestly, I like I said before, it kind of feels like Kung Fu Panda mixed with Star Wars a little bit. It's just like a good time. If you have little kids, they'll love it. If you like the video game, you'll absolutely love it, like with every fiber of your being. And if you just like great animated movies, it was a really good time.
Yeah, and you guys should all see it because I want a sequel.
Exactly. That's really what this is all about. We just want a sequel to this movie.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, other than that, I have an announcement. I am leaving Cinefix. I have to move on, go do some other stuff. I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support and all the fun, and we had a great time here over the last few years. I did. I'm going to miss everybody. Everyone's my family here, and it's been a great run. So thanks so much for watching and for commenting both positively and negatively, and it's been a real pleasure.
Don't forget to leave comments, say goodbye to Dave. Tell Dave how much you'll miss him and how much you love Ratchet and Clank.
That one sounds good. Let's just stick with Ratchet and Clank, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we'll miss you, Dave.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate
Well,
it. That
guys,
felt a little forced, actually.
Well, because it was.
Okay, I hear that.